Hail and Meshes adventures. There's a lot of going on approaching the release of Baldur's Gate 3, but you came to the right place, because today we put away all the drama about Chaos Scene and Larian Studios raising bar for other RPG developers to take a look and make honest and unbiased decisions. Is Baldur's Gate 3 worth the money? And should you buy it? So today me, Spud The King, will guide you, even with my vegetable accent. And I guess my main point here will be Baldur's Gate 3, not for everyone. There are 5 topics I want to discuss today, but first of all, let's check out some recent reviews from Steam. I should probably mention that I went into this expecting something similar to Divinity 2. I know that it isn't necessarily that right mindset, but I assume there are a lot of people doing the same, and this review is meant for those people. Let's start with my biggest issue: combat. So, from the start we acknowledged that person who writes review came from previous Larian game, Divinity 2, and he don't like this game. First issue is combat. It's kind of horrible. Every fight feels like it's pure luck. Hit rates are horrible, often being barely 60%. Damage can vary between 1 to 10 or even more, and it always sort of feels like enemies have an unfair advantage. Overall, the combat felt more like gambling than actual tactical combat. So, this is one of the reasons why Baldur's Gate 3 is not for everyone. I was professional StarCraft 2 player, so when I'm playing games I tend to look like this, and pacing of Baldur's Gate is not supposed to be in my favorite mechanics list. To be honest, I never played Divinity, Dragon's Age and other turn-based games. Still, I found combat in Baldur's Gate one of most enjoyable experiences lately. More on that later. So next problem this person puts up is classes. He hates classes system, that there's no reclass in this game. But it's kinda fixed, because we got proof that there will be at least respect of the character. Still, we won't be able to completely change class, but we are locked only to one level of the class when we are in the playthrough. Next problem this person puts up is gear. Gear feels pointless. Every piece of equipment I found is pretty much the same, maybe with a +1 and an effect, but overall there's no notable difference in armor value, damage or anything for the most part. Gear, that's the biggest problem many players can meet here. While guys who got lucky to play full game at Panel from Hell told that there's awesome gear awaits in Act 2 of the story. My opinion on this topic is kinda mixed. First of all, yes, it looks frustrating, having strong character while being able to get only +1 weapon. But the game system is based on D&D, and it's pretty balanced with numbers and randomness of the dice rolls. I think it's bad if fun weapons wait us in Act 2, because there's at least 20 hours of playtime in Act 1, if you're not going in every corner, and I guess around 40 to 50 hours if you're trying to 100% full Act 1, which I think you shouldn't, by the way. Still, Baldur's Gate is RPG in its core. It's not action clicker like Diablo. I even can say that loot and gear is least fun and least important part of this game. But role-playing, Larian nailed it. There's so much ways you can become your own character and craft amazing stories that no one can expect. More on that later. The next problem this person goes about is trading. He says that he has no idea and trading system is just broken, and he found himself being unable to afford anything. I don't know, I played 10 hours and didn't have any problems with this. If you try to help traders and negotiate with them, do some barter trades every now and then, I mean, I got everything I need without stealing. But just being a really nice person and role-playing. Character creation. I guess we skip that one. The dice system. This one can be explained really quickly. I don't like it at all. It's pretty much just luck, and basing such a major part of gameplay on luck is kinda worrying me. Dice system. It's just luck. Yes! That's what makes D&D games amazing. That's what makes everything amazing. That's why people play lottery, casino and other stuff. That's what makes Baldur's Gate brilliant game. One of the reasons I dislike most of RPGs, that's no matter how you roleplay, most of the time outcome is kinda the same. But not here. And that feeling when you try to negotiate with someone and dice rolls on 1, and guys who was your friend, now your foe, that pick up their swords. Oh my, it's amazing feeling. So, I picked this review as really deep while raising issues that many players can have. Let's quickly check few more bad reviews. This guy disliked how his oath was broken. I don't know, maybe his oath was to never even think about inflicting harm, but technically I don't see too much issue in here, still pretty fun review. This guy dislikes that player who initiates dialogue is one who rolls the dice. But in reality, how often player can do it? If you talk with a person, you talk, not your friend, so you roll dice in real life when you try to deceive someone, not your friend rolling for you. For someone who played Divinity, Baldurs Gate feels slow and boring. And now I will show you best recommended reviews. Okay, they're really funny, so pause the video and take a good laugh. Don't forget to join Potato Legion of the Starchlands. Subscribe for the Spud King while we go into my complete and unbiased opinion. Is Baldur's Gate for you or it's not worth your bucks? First of all, if you only like some action games and slow-paced, relaxed elf adventures in beautiful sacred lands is not for you, then I could say yeah. Baldur's Gate is not action game, and to have fun by mashing buttons every second is not about that game. Instead, this awesome RPG goes deeply into roots of what is RPG, and modern threats a little bit changed what many people expect out of RPG games. There are tons of players who think that RPG means loot, stats, grind. And forgive me, while I like to min-max characters and dig deep into mathematically correct optimizing of ability points and gear, I think that it's least important part in this game. And that's what D&D system all about. No matter how good and optimize your character, he can be downed with 1 lucky, not 20 on the dice, after he horribly transformed himself into frog by critical miss. Instead, Baldur's Gate got insanely diverse storyline. Or let me correct myself, storylines. Yeah, there are multiple storylines, go side by side, and your own story reflected on other characters too. And that's what should be imagined when you hear letters RPG, role-playing game, becoming different character and roleplay as someone in fantasy world. How good can a storyline be? I heard that there is more than 70,000 endings. But to be honest, I guess it's more related to amount of total available ends of different storylines merged together into single playthrough. Still, pretty impressive number, and I guess we can count on 10 plus endings easily. This directly ties into replayability. Full game will last around 100 hours or around 200 hours if you want to go and experience content in every corner of every location. So, if you want to just try and complete this game as a good and evil, it could take you from 2 to 500 hours. If you want to complete it as 12 different classes, it will take you more than 1000 hours. So, for 60 bucks, you will get at least hour of gameplay experience for every 50 cents you spend. Pretty nice value in my opinion. But you can argue that diverse stories is not so diverse, and turn-based battles is not fun. I was in that camp too before tried Baldur's Gate, so let me show you with examples what I mean. Little spoiler warning. I will explain with only few words how you can change your story, even from the tutorial area, and introduce you into well-known character from the game. So, if you know her name, don't worry. If you don't, you will anyway know all of this stuff after launching the game, because she is one of the game banner characters anyway and one of playable characters. But I guess I need to warn you anyway. So let's go and see how diverse storyline could be. So our story of Baldur's Gate 3 starts on this mind flayer alien ship. And you will be able to find on this ship new companions. But you will require some luck and perception. So if everything done correctly, you will find out on mind flayer ship this girl. It's Shadowheart. She will be your companion on your party of guys who want to escape the ship. And after successful escape, you will be on the beach. So, on the beach, the game starts and you start alone. But after a few steps, you see Shadowheart escaped ship too, and you can go and wake her up, for example. But you will notice this magical artifact. You don't know what is it, so you can try to steal it if you want to. And already these two actions will be completely different stories. Will you start your journey from stealing from the strangers, or maybe you not trust her, or maybe you will be a nice guy and just wake her up. So Shadowheart can become your companion. But what if, when you go in on the ship, you not trust anyone? So you get rid of Githyanki, then you go and somehow miss by a port where Shadowheart is. Then, when you on the beach, you will see stranger. And this is completely different scenario. You don't know who this person is. Maybe you don't trust any person when you're just out of the ship. So what will be your response? It could be different. You can go talk, or you can just use magic missile, like this. And again, it will be completely different story. But you can continue your path, or just see this magical artifact in front of you. And now you are the carrier of this artifact. What will be next? Guys, it's again completely different story. But what if we on Biopod and there's some horrible accident happens in the final battle and your party destroyed? How the story will go from this situation? When you're on the beach, you will find Shadowheart again, but now you can't wake up her. You can't wake up her. This is it. So this is the playthrough without Shadowheart. And that's again completely different story. And just that, for me, making Baldur's Gate 3 one of the best games ever. I'm planning to complete it at least 3 times, I guess, but there's one more part about Baldur's Gate 3 that is misunderstood. And the idea that combat in Baldur's Gate 3 is boring. I made complete video about that topic and it's on the screen right now.